In the headlines, angry students block major highway, protest abductions of coursemates. Immigration declares state of emergency on passport processing. Sultan of Sokoto directs Muslims to look out for the new moon of Zulhijjah from Sunday. And on the foreign scene, Sudan's warring sides agreed to new 72-hour ceasefire. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for joining us. We begin with the Federal University of Gusau, where some angry students of the university have blocked Gusau, Funtua, Zaria, and Sokoto Highway to protest against the abduction of 5 of its classmates at Sabon Gida community by suspected terrorists on Friday night. The students, who came out on Saturday morning in large number, blocked the road, making motorists stranded. The report.
The protesters said they would not stop until the authorities concerned take measures to secure the freedom of the abducted students and prevent the reoccurrence of the ugly situation in the troubled host community. This is not the first time that students of Fugus will be whisked away by suspected terrorists in the Sabangida community, where some of the students are staying off campus.
Until the government answers them. We know who are traveling from Sokoto to Zaria or from Zaria to Sokoto cannot.
It took the intervention of the military, who were deployed to the scene of the protests, to calm down the students to allow motorists move to their destinations. The Zamfara State Police Public Relations Officer, Assistant Superintendent Yazid Abubakar, said the police have not yet received any information concerning the abduction of the students of the Federal University Gusau. He said that he would find out from the police division in charge of the troubled community. Efforts to reach the management of the Federal University Gusau failed as the Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Lawal Saad, and the Public Relations Officer were indisposed for comments.
The police in Ondo State have confirmed the abduction of Ibrahim Bodunde Oyinlade, the chief imam of Usho community in our local government area of the state. The 67-year-old cleric was abducted on his farm at Asolo Farm Camp on Saturday afternoon. A family member said they reported to the police when Bodunde Oyinlade did not return home by 2 p.m. and calls to his mobile phone were not answered. Olufumilayo Dunlami Omishanya, the police spokesperson in the state, however, confirmed the incident. He said police officers and vigilantes were combing the forest in search of the chief imam. Odunlami Omisanya said the victim's car and mobile phone were found at the farm. The DPO, policemen, and vigilantes are searching the area for possible rescue. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and other 13 former governors in the 10th Senate to disclose the total amount of life pensions, if any, that have been received from your states as former governors. In a statement on Sunday, SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare urged the new lawmakers to promptly clarify if they have collected or are currently collecting life pensions as former governors from their respective states. The group said collecting life pensions as former governors while in the Senate would clearly violate constitutional provisions and amount to taking advantage of entrusted public positions. Oluwadare said the former governors to emulate former Senate President Bukola Saraki, who stopped collecting life pension as a former governor of Kwara State, and described life pensions by former governors as immoral. Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has urged Nigerians to be patient as the government works out palliative to cushion the hardships brought about by the removal of fuel subsidy. The governor said this in Bauchi on Saturday while interacting with newsmen. He assured that the committee set up by the National Economic Council will make appropriate recommendations that will be beneficial to all. Mohammed, who is a member of the committee, said some of the recommendations will include the procurement of a large amount of mass transit buses for Nigerians. He added that the committee will also recommend adjustments in workers' salaries and the introduction of various intervention programs using the revenue generated from the subsidy removal. Compressed natural gas (CNG) is now embraced as alternative to expensive premium motor spirits since the announcement of fuel subsidy removal. It is safer and more cost-effective to manage vehicles using CNG than PMS. In this report, Trust TV's Bello Musa speaks to automotive engineer who explains the conversion process as well as the eco-friendly nature of the CNG in the vehicles.
Government plans to encourage the conversion of vehicles to using gas has been on for some time, but did not see the light of the day. Former President Muhammadu Buhari had promised Nigerians that auto gas policy will ensure vehicles plying the roads in the country run on gas. The plan then was to convert 1 million vehicles in the country to run on gas within a year. With fuel price hiked after President Tinubu announced that fuel subsidy is gone, use of CNG as potential replacement of PMS began to reverberate. Dr. Aliyu Usman of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Kaduna Polytechnic, explains some of the conversion process.
If you have the kit available, the kit, one of the kits starting from the tank, and you have the multi-valve, then you have the switch, that is changeover. Then you now go to the engine side, whereby you want it to work with your the injector system. And that is all. These days vehicles, it's even easy to convert it faster comparing to the carburetor engine we are having before.
According to him, key available conversion kit can install in a 4 cars in just a day, emphasizing that training of technicians is key to achieving the auto gas policy.
We install more than 4 cars a day, include even hillocks and then other small mini vehicles. And then go there, get the fuel, fill it, come back, test run it, and it was okay.
He highlights some of the benefit of using gas in the vehicles.
If you have gas, it consumes your engine will run freely. That kind of sludge or something you are having in the engine before, you will not have it. That sludge, that dirty that is coming from the gas also, from even the silencer. Now, if you are using the gas, it's clear. And the amount of gas we are going to use this time around will be less comparing to the petrol liquid.
So if we can get those type of people and they call us together, let's sit and talk with the engineers, their engineers, then with our own local engineer, because they call us roadside engineers. We agree. But let us sit down and see how can we move this country, Nigeria, forward.
Besides lower operational costs and lower vehicular emissions and reduce in noise pollution, vehicles using compressed natural gas can run on petrol and gas. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Acting Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Caroline Wuraola Adepoju, has declared a state of emergency on passport issuance to address challenges faced by Nigerians in obtaining the document. Making the announcement via a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer of the service in Abuja, Adepoju said the declaration became necessary to emphasize the urgent need to address the challenges through a comprehensive plan of action. It called on all stakeholders to prioritize efficiency, transparency, and excellence in service delivery. The acting CGI, who visited Lagos recently, had inaugurated a state-of-the-art visa on arrival lounge at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport to demonstrate her commitment to improving the overall travel experience for visitors entering Nigeria. The Lagos State government is to demolish 17 distressed structures at Alaba Market in the Ojo area of the state on Monday. This is according to the General Manager of Lagos State Building Control Agency, Bolahon Oki, who spoke during an assessment of the buildings already earmarked for demolition. At the event, The LASBCA boss also issued final warnings and notices to the occupants of the affected structures. Oki, who decried the rate of harassment meted out to officials of the agency at different times in the past, said that 7 years notification was enough for the occupants of the buildings marked for demolition to have vacated the structures and comply with the notices issued by LASBCA and other government agencies. The Alaba market is famous for the sales of electronic devices and other items. Still in Lagos State, some residents hail President Bola Tinubu for signing the Students' Loan Bill into law to assist students from poor background pursue higher education. Other residents asked members of the 10th National Assembly to support the president to rebuild the country and rejuvenate the economy. Trust TV's Abbas Ibrahim Dalibi now reports.
Students and parents are with the Student Loan Act, which they believe will improve the education sector in the country. Ike Anobi Ajibola is a mother who is very glad and very happy with the student loan. It will really help our children. President has taken the right step, and we know him for good action since when he was a governor here in Lagos. We will continue to pray for him so that he will do more to us and our country. Nafisat Suleiman Yetunde is a student, and she said that the bill will improve the education of many vulnerable students.
It will help my fellow students, it will help them put full responsibility in their education aspects, where some of them lose focus in class, some of them don't even come to school regularly because they are finding one way or the other to pay their school fees, to make ends meet in school. So with this loan that this government has approved, most of our students will acquire this loan, use it to settle for school fees, use it to settle for school bills, use it to settle for school payments, and they'll be able to focus more on activities in school, partake in more activities in school, focus on their studies, so they'll be able to achieve the main aim of them coming to school.
She also urged the government to provide more opportunities for students so that they could be able to pay back the loan after their study. Some Lagos residents call on members of the 10th National Assembly to support the president on his effort to make life better for Nigerians. Ismail Ogamboye wants the lawmakers to formulate laws that will help improve agriculture, education, healthcare, and security. Also provide opportunities for teaming youth who are now jobless. We are praying that God will support the members of the 10th National Assembly, as we also urge them to give support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his effort to make life better for all Nigerians. President Tinubu signed the student law bill on Monday, June 12, as part of his election promises. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV at this hour. Coming up after the break, we'll take a glimpse of abnormal marital rights. These and more stories after the break. Don't go away.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
There's a mountain in Biliri town that truly reflects a lost civilization. Discover the lost story of ancient humans and the existence of giants whose stories have long been forgotten.
They are giants, and because they are giants, it is possible that they did this work.
Could this be proof that giants lived long before now?
These columnar joints formed long before even human existence scientifically.
And did they leave a mark to show their existence?
It is beyond human beings' formation.
Don't miss out as we explore the mystery rock shrouded in tales of ancient lore and lost civilization.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. A recap of some of our major stories. We told you that angry students block major highway, protest abductions of coursemates. Also, immigration declares state of emergency on passport processing. Moving on to other news stories, the Plateau State House of Assembly has accused the Nigeria police of being partisan over the sealing of the 17 local government secretariats in the state. The Assembly made the accusation during a press conference held in Jos, the state capital. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, had on Thursday, through the State Commissioner of Police, Bartolome Onyeka, ordered the closure of the secretariats over leadership crisis at the LGAs between the ruling PDP and the APC in the state. While supporters of the APC applauded the IGP's decision, supporters of the PDP, on the other hand, rejected it. The State Assembly also faulted the police decision, adding that it is unfortunate that such decision is taken by the police. The Assembly accuses the police commissioner of being partisan.
And the IG's action did not came to us as a surprise because of the trend of events that had happened in the state. It was very clear that the court ruled that the then executive chairman of Lantang North local government in person of Ubandoma 11 should be reinstated. And the police commissioner in Plateau State deliberately refused to enforce such judgment. We believe that the police are supposed to protect lives and properties of the citizens and to give proper protection to constituted authority within the state. But what we enjoy in the state is the reversal, in which the police to us, they are, instead of them to be political neutral, but yet they begin to prove otherwise, as if they are partisan.
The Sultan of Sokoto and the President General of Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Sa'ad Abubakar, has directed Muslims to look out for the new moon of Zulhijjah 1444 after Hijrah from Sunday. A statement signed by the Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council, Sokoto, Professor Sambo Junaidu, said Zulhijjah is the 12th and the last month in the Islamic calendar in which Muslims perform annual pilgrimage, Hajj, and celebrate Eid al-Kabir festival. It added that Muslims are requested to start looking for the new moon on Sunday and report its sighting to the nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultan. The statement prayed to Allah to help all Muslims in the discharge of their religious duty. To the Anoma tribe of Delta State, like most Nigerian tribes, marriage is more than just the union of two individuals. It is the union of families and their ancestors. Jonathan Awonyaye tells us more on the traditional marriage rites of the Anoma people.
Traditional marriage among the Anyoma people of Delta State is held at a very high esteem and considered as one of the highest honor a child could possibly give to his or her parents. Every parent looks forward to a blissful, happy and rewarding married life for their children, especially so, as marriage is a socio-cultural responsibility expected of every young adult and a veritable tool in laying foundation of our strong families for a stable society. In Anyoma, any lady upon readiness for marriage is expected to formally introduce her suitor to her parents. Thereafter, a date is fixed for Ikwaka, also known as introduction, which particularly provides a platform both families exchange knowledge, thus tend to become familiar with them or just plant the idea within them that a marriage may soon take place.
Bottle of hot drink, cola nuts, and palm wine to come and inquire about the girl. The second one, which is the official introduction, also require just one bottle of whiskey, one crate of drink, and of course palm wine, depending on your capacity as a man. Then the third one that involves the larger family will not be more than 10 crates of drinks. And the traditional marriage again will not more than 10 crates of drinks and food.
After the Ikwaka, marriage expectation become very high, but what happens is that a list containing the necessary requirements, such as a particular sum of amount for the eguisi and dowry, is issued to the groom. There is, however, no fixed amount as bride price. In the process of Igbo traditional marriage, the bride price is debated and accepted. It ranges between 50 naira and 100,000 naira, depending on families involved.
A gin, which is called kai kai, then cola nuts, then you support it with some amount of money, which you call the waging or the cola nut in my area. Then they will not tell you, we are not selling our daughter, but this is what we need from you as an amount you will pay.
The process of bride price is simple, where the man will ask the guy, how much do you have? I'm not selling my daughter, I am giving her to you for marriage purposes, which is, of course, to bear grandchildren for both families.
Items for traditional marriage includes cola nuts, palm wine in gallons, jerry can, bottles of hot drinks, tubers of yam, cartons of assorted drinks, soft drinks and beer, tobacco snuff and cash.
Beautiful display of traditional marriage rites in Anyoma city in Delta State. Now away from Nigeria, a ferry carrying 120 passengers and crew members has caught fire at sea in the Philippines, and a Coast Guard vessel has been deployed to rescue those on board and extinguish the flames. The MV Esperanza Star caught fire at dawn on Sunday while traveling from Siquijor Province to Bohol Province in the central Philippines. The Coast Guard said authorities did not immediately say how many people had been rescued from the ferry or if there were casualties. Photos and videos released by the Coast Guard shows flame and black smoke billowing from two decks at one end of the ferry as Coast Guard personnel on board another vessel used water cannon trying to put out the fire. None of the 65 passengers and 55 crew members could be seen on board the burning ferry, based on the photographs and videos released by the Coast Guard. And in sports, South African World Cup history makers Morocco has qualified ahead of a lively Group K clash in Johannesburg that drew a 50,000 crowd despite near-freezing conditions. El Kajou, standing in for rested Yassine Bounou, allowed a Percy Tau cross slip from his grasp into the net after only 5 minutes, and Zahele Lepasa added a second on 48 minutes. Hakim Ziyech halved the deficit on the hour, but an equalizer eluded Morocco, who last December became the first African Arab team to reach the World Cup semi-finals after finishing fourth in Qatar. The Atlas Lions beat Brazil and drew with Peru and Cape Verde in friendly matches. The visit to Johannesburg marked a return to competitive action. Zambia also completed a joyful day for Southern Africa by hammering the Ivory Coast 3-1 in Ndola to secure a place in the finals for the first time since 2015. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust TV News Update at this hour. Don't forget to follow us across all of our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news updates. I'm Aisha Saliu. Thanks for watching.